We've got a lot of TED Talks today, and we're going to have a lot of fun, Lydia, for sure.
Definitely.
Great.
We have some people rolling in, so we're excited to get started soon.
So stand by. We're going to go find some people to interview on the red carpet, and we'll be back to you in just a few minutes. Hey, it's Rob Humphrey, back at you live from Mountain View. I'm here with Sara Koch with Concur. How are you feeling about the event so far? It's just about to get kicked off.
I'm really excited. There's a ton of people here. It's going to be some good content, going to learn a lot, network. I mean, what more could you ask for?
So you're pretty much stoked, is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely stoked. Absolutely.
Okay, I've checked out your profile. I've looked at Concur. How are you guys competing with the Googles and the big competitors out there for talent? How are you making that happen?
You know, I love the word compete, and everyone loves to use it. This competition, it's huge, but in my eyes, it's simple. I mean, if you want to go work for those big corporations and be a fly on the wall and drone away at a computer all day long, then Concur is not the place for you. If you want to come in and have FaceTime with executives, sit in with senior leadership, work on real business problems, and go have dinner at our co-founder's house, then yeah, Concur is the place for you, and that's easy to market.
So you're saying interns and recent grads are hanging out with the co-founder?
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually have a full day planned at our co-founder's house where we're going to be hanging out, playing volleyball, networking, having dinner. They're actually going to have 3 separate dinners with our co-founders, each and every one of them.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about today, Sara. Mm-hmm. What's your expectation? I mean, there's a lot of buzz going on here. Yeah. I don't know if that's the coffee drinking, but what are you looking to take away from today?
Well, I'm from Seattle, so it's absolutely the coffee. But I really want to take away just some best practices. What's everyone else doing? What does the market look like? You know, where do we need to be focusing our attention? How are we attracting talent? How are other companies attracting talent? And what do we need to do to be the best, to compete with the best?
Right. Cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna take just another short break, and we're gonna come back with some other people to talk to, and then we're gonna get back at you live just in 1 minute.
Hey guys, Lydia here again. I'm here with Tay Scott with LinkedIn. Tay, how are you feeling about today?
Awesome. Excited.
Great. Well, I just have a couple questions for you just to get started. The first one is, how are you seeing sourcing resumes? What changes are you seeing in that in recent years?
Well, with 39 million students and new college grads on LinkedIn now, it's easier and easier to employ traditional recruiting methods. So what we're finding is that actually the traditional dog and pony show when you go to campus, that actually may change in the future because we can actually even the playing field and get access to so many different students through traditional recruiting means on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And what about changes in sourcing and metrics? How are those being used today?
Yeah, data, the use of data, so the selection of schools is very, very, I'll say emotional. Everybody's an alma mater from somewhere or alumni from somewhere, and it's very emotional. So we have access to unprecedented amount of data these days. We can actually go to the LinkedIn alumni tool and see who went to what school, how many people at the company went to that school, what schools are producing the best talent. So basically the use of data and actually just even building your campus recruiting program is tenfold what it was several years ago even.
Great. Yeah, that's definitely a big change.
Definitely.
What about when it comes to having a degree versus just being able to demonstrate different skills? What do you see differences between that?
Yeah, I'm basically, so I attribute it almost akin to the MBA, where they recruit high school students directly from high school to the MBA. And I think the same is going to be true over the course of time in especially STEM majors where there's a shortage of skills. And basically when people can actually showcase their skills on LinkedIn now versus, a while back where you could only just show your degree, now we have the ability to actually see people who are in high school making differences, having open source projects, projects and skills that would normally only belong to people that have a lot of experience. So I think we're going to start to see a shift over the course of time. I think also it presents challenges too, because people going straight from high school to industry, maybe the whole way in which we absorb talent in the future may change as well, because there's the maturity factor, there's all those different factors, but there's a lot of changes on the landscape in this particular area.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much. Anything in particular you're hoping to take away from today?
Today's event, I think, is just purely about like the power of networking and learning from our peers in the same social space as we are. And a lot of people here have just massive experiences, and I'm just looking forward to learning from the rest of them as well.
Me too. All right, well, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back with more interviews in just a moment.
Hey y'all, it's Rob Humphrey back at you live. I'm here with Sandhya with Applied Medical. I'm sorry. Oh my God! This is what happens when you go live and you don't plan this out and you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Audience, tell me who you are and what company you're with.
Okay, I'm Sandhya Kadipli and I work for Applied Materials.
Cool. So, the question of the day is students, hiring students. How many are you hiring, and how are you going about it? What's your game plan here?
Okay, so we're hiring about 30 to 50 interns this summer. So we have our college recruitment, our tour that we did. So we go to our core engineering schools, also our business schools as well. So we go throughout the year, and then also we do, the traditional methods, on-campus interviews, and then also, of course, using LinkedIn is a great tool for us to look for college students.
So, as I steal my mic back, let me ask you, what are you doing differently this year? I mean, what's new on your agenda, if anything? New tactics, new strategies?
Different. So I think right now we're using LinkedIn a lot more because there's a lot of students that are on LinkedIn at this time. Also, we're trying to get into social media, so maybe getting some followers and attracting talent that way.
Great. And so, what's the Twitter handle that you have for students to be following y'all?
So we don't have Twitter, so we're in the process of implementing and maybe getting Twitter and Instagram, to target the college students that we're looking for.
Yeah, Instagram's apparently a hot topic. I just got on Instagram. And
okay,
I had Stephanie, our social media expert, teach me how to do that. Yeah. So, or my daughter. So it's been quite exciting. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about what you're doing with that. Tell me about your target schools really quickly. Like, are you expanding that, or is it just always the same set of schools? How do you formulate what those target schools are?
So they're generally based on metrics and also success factors, who we've hired in the past and how successful they've been in our company. Definitely we're looking to expand, but we generally go based on metrics.
Cool. Sounds like a lot of data over there for sure. Yes. Well, we appreciate you joining the red carpet and taking a few minutes to talk to us. For the audience, if you have any questions, hashtag CR Bootcamp. We'll get you the questions over to me, and I'll make sure that we get the answers, or we'll make something up. Looking forward to seeing you in a little bit. We've got some awesome people to talk to, and then we're going to get started with the live College Recruiter Bootcamp. Hey, it's Rob back at you, trying to remember what the names of the companies are of the people I'm interviewing. I think I have this one right. I'm here with Julie. She's with Salesforce, Exact Target, Marketing Cloud. Yep. And I want to just throw it out. I think you and I should rap battle right now live in front of the 3,000 people. What do you think?
I'll let you rap.
All right, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I might break dance later, so stay tuned for that. But let me ask you, you're up in... We had dinner last night, so I know where you're up in Indianapolis, which is in Indiana, which is in the Midwest. Correct. What's going on there with regard to hiring students and interns? Tell me what's going on.
We're a happening place. I mean, we're one of the best places for recent grads to move to have internships. Our tech, company is exploding, just not Exact Target, but the tech community in Indianapolis is really hot right now. So we're really trying to attract more and more students to the Midwest for all of its benefits.
Come to the Midwest if you're a student. So we were talking about catapults, slingshots. It got really medieval weapons, and you need to explain that to me and to the audience because I don't know really what was going on there, but it sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So Slingshot is our internship program in Indianapolis for 11 weeks during the summer, and we see that as, a launch into your career as a college student. So undergraduates, we do master's students as well. For Catapult, however, that's our rotational program for recent grads. So we see that as the huge launch into your career. So there's a little history behind the naming of the two programs.
I love it. So it's Slingshot,
Slingshot,
baby steps,
yep, baby steps to your
Catapult,
career.
big steps.
Yep.
Got it. Recent grads. So how are you attracting people to the wonderful happening hotbed of technology that is Indianapolis?
I mean, we have a great culture at Exact Target. We pride ourselves on being orange. We're very Midwestern in values, so things like being easy to do business with, making our clients look like heroes, very warm and welcoming. But don't forget us. We're very entrepreneurial in spirit. We're very forward-thinking, fast-paced, high energy, like you have on the coast.
So your teammate is going to be talking a little bit, right?
Yes.
Now, give us a precursor. What is she going to be talking about? Why should we be excited?
We should be excited because Teresa Koch, my manager, is going to be speaking about how you can engage your interns throughout the summer, but then also the business partners. So I can't give away all of her secrets. You'll have to stay tuned and find out.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Teresa Koch is coming up. I'm here with Julie with Salesforce Exact Target Marketing Cloud. We're going to be back soon. There may be a rap battle involved, but there's definitely going to be some great content. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Lydia Abbott back with you. I'm here with Layla Srinivasan with LinkedIn, and we have a couple questions for you, Layla.
Good morning.
Good morning. First off, you've done a lot of research recently looking into what professionals are doing on LinkedIn. What about students?
Yeah, so we published a report fairly recently on what's going on in the minds of professionals globally, and it was interesting to look at the breakdown of the results for millennials and the younger set, as it were, compared to more mature professionals, if you will. So a couple of things stuck out. Number one, compensation is number one for them in terms of the factors that matter most when they're thinking about a job opportunity. But they care less about work-life balance than their more mature counterparts, I guess. So it's interesting to see how that varies across the workforce. There are also some interesting trends and differences between male and female responses. So the guys were less concerned about having a bad relationship with their bosses than the millennial females were. So don't know what's behind that, but I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah.
And you recently spent some time on different campuses in North Carolina. How was that experience?
Yeah, fantastic trip. So a few of us spent maybe a couple of days at NC State, at UNC Flagler, Duke, et cetera, just talking to students and trying to understand what they're going through as they come up on graduation. And it's humbling and very endearing to hear the terms that they use. They feel challenged. They're under a lot of stress. They're really not sure where the career is going to take them. And so it was really interesting to talk with them and then also talk to the career counselors at the colleges and hear how they're helping the student population. And then also talk with employers who are really trying to connect with this audience and figure out how to help them. And so just a very inspiring couple of days that we spent with them and really left there knowing and really confident in the knowledge that LinkedIn's got a lot to offer these young kids. And in fact, there's in terms of what kids are doing on LinkedIn, you asked. So Rob Humphrey, who's been popping up here now and then, has neglected to mention that his son, Shane Humphrey, recently published a blog post on LinkedIn that very quickly attracted 20,000 views. And it was really, I don't know if we can pull that up, but, Shane's, I think, 15 or 16 years old. And here's this kid who's not even, applying to college yet, really putting some of the college kids to shame and just talking about how his generation should be networking and really taking advantage of platforms like LinkedIn to build relationships with their next employer. So check that post out if you can. I think Shane's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I read the post and it's definitely very interesting. So, what do you think people can expect to take away from today's event?
Yeah, well, we've got a slew of great speakers. It's a TED-style format, which means the presentations are going to be 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes long, punchy, lots of good takeaways, I think. So make sure you've got your pens at the ready or your keypad at the ready and ready to take notes. And yeah, just really looking forward to some great learning.
Great. Well, thank you, Layla.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back in just a moment after a short break. Thanks.
Hey, it's Rob Humphrey, in case you forgot me. And if you stay tuned in for the keynote, I guarantee you won't forget. I guarantee it. I'm here with Stephanie Howell, who handles social media for us here at LinkedIn.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing awesome. So what's going on? How do I track this event on Twitter and whatever these social media things are?
Yeah. So there's many ways that you can participate with us today if you're joining with us virtually here online. One of the ways here is through the live stream through Ustream, so you're going to get to see some great sessions here and feel like you're actually a part of the conference. The second way you can participate is through Twitter. If you follow us at Hire on LinkedIn, or you can also follow us through the hashtag with hashtag #CRBootcamp to kind of hear what some of the attendees here are sharing in their key takeaways and their key insights here. Feel free to retweet and reply as you enjoy some of the content joining on Twitter. Another way too is through our LinkedIn status updates. Feel free to post through your LinkedIn profile and share any great key and sound bites and takeaways that you hear from today. Don't forget to connect with some of the folks that are speaking with us here today. I think you'll be able to kind of establish some stronger relationships when you identify some of the interesting key pieces of content here.
Yeah, it's a great advice. So keep tracking us on social media. If you have questions, don't forget, use one of those hashtags, CR Bootcamp, etc. And we'll definitely try to get some questions. There are some really awesome talks coming up, and apparently they're supposed to be these 20-minute TED Talks. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be timing them and making sure they are, and we look forward to your questions. Thanks for joining. We'll be back in a few minutes with some special guests, and then we're going to get started with the conference.
Hey guys, Lydia Abbott back here. I'm with Josh Rock, who's with collegerecruiter.com and is hosting the event today. What are you guys hoping attendees will walk away with?
Oh, lots of great, tasty college recruiting nuggets. Great stuff that they can take back to their companies, use for their talent acquisition programs to find ways to engage that university, current students or recent graduates so they can help grow their companies.
Great, yeah. So collegerecruiter.com is a job board, and obviously new grads want jobs, but what about for companies that aren't posting jobs? How do students find these hidden gems?
Oh, great question. There's a lot of great tools. Obviously, our good friends at LinkedIn, you can find great recruiters, find them, look at the groups that they're posting, great job postings in, engage with them, but also use social media. A lot of recruiters, especially college and campus recruiters, are using social media, things like Twitter, Pinterest, to engage that audience. So great ways to connect with them, ask questions, throw things back and forth, and get that great content.
Yeah, great. What are you looking forward to most today?
Interacting with the great professionals that are here, grabbing some great, tasty, good information to take back and provide to my clients who couldn't come.
Yeah, that's great. It's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much, and we'll be back in just a few moments with some more interviews before we get started. Thanks.
Hey, Rob Humphrey back at you with Amy Beth Quinn, research guys. So I've known you for a long time. You're an absolute guru, and I don't say that just randomly. Finding students, finding interns, what are some secrets?
I think using semantic search in LinkedIn is a good starting point for finding students using phrases like I just graduated from, or I'm a senior at, or I'm a recent graduate of. Will help you to find some possibly hidden profiles in LinkedIn. You can also use those in normal internet searches to find people that maybe don't have a LinkedIn profile.
If y'all don't know Amy Beth, she is by far one of the smartest people when it comes to search. Really, really impressive. Sometimes I need to actually bring a thesaurus with me to talk with Amy Beth. Let me ask you a question about attracting talent, sort of fresh grads, as they're called, and interns from schools specifically? Are you employing special techniques to discover what schools may have the skills that maybe aren't in the target school list of companies?
Well, I think a lot of companies don't tap their own internal resources as much as they should be. So taking a look at the alma maters of people who are already employed, taking a look especially at ones that are not, I guess, in your top tier.
Right.
Also taking a look at the top performers on your team and seeing where they graduated from and the programs that they pursued. So taking a look at internal resources, I think, should be the number one place to really start forming your campus recruiting efforts, because you can tap those alumni to help you in those efforts as well.
Yeah, alumni are key. You know, it's interesting because we just looked at a teammate of mine did a sort of an informal study on whether or not employees from target schools make the tenure. In other words, a year later, where are the people that were hired from these target schools? And what we have found out, just sort of informally, is that, well, that grouping that you're targeting doesn't end up representing, you know, the company itself in terms of alma mater. So that's a great tip. What type of sort of supercharged tricks or tips do you have just for searching in general on LinkedIn or anywhere for folks?
Well, some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about today is more along the lines of productivity to help you expedite the process of finding people. So using tools like Google Docs or Mail Merge to send personalized messages to the people that you meet at career fairs, instead of, you know, it creates what I call automated authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
So gathering information from conversations with students and compiling that into a spreadsheet, and then sending personalized notes not just to the students but also creating kind of a rap sheet on the students that you
Right.
want to have your hiring managers interview by pulling notes from those in a mail merge. So it's not really a sourcing technique, but it's a way to get information to the people who are going to be interviewing these students in a quick manner that's not going to take an entire day to do so.
Wow, automated authenticity. That is fantastic, because I know that a lot of people struggle. They have their resumes, sometimes even still in a box. They come back from the career fair and they figure out, how can I mass email everybody and, you know, let them know what's going on. So that's great. And your panel, your talk is coming up a little bit later today.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So we'll definitely be tuning in for that and looking for some tricks and tips. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
I look
Rob.
forward to your talk.
Thank you.
Okay.